Cali Nerdcast. Yeah. Oh, did you start it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Welcome to the Cali
Wait.
Nerdcast.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the Cali Nerdcast. I'm Landon Lenz.
I'm here, Spencer Lenz.
And with us today is Curtis Sarvinski Jr.
Woo!
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Yes. And he is our much-needed resource because none of us really know that much about the thing we want to talk about, which is DC.
I know nothing.
I know a little. I read comics. They're comics every now and again, but randomly and without direction.
So, Landon, explain why we want to talk about something we don't know about.
Because I've been on a super big Superman keyword here. Superman kick.
Oh, Lord.
And I've just been fascinated by it, and so I wanted to have some people. And I'm just,
You've been on a Superman kick for like a decade now.
Whoa.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
I would
That's
say
true.
he's been
That's
on
true.
the Superman kick almost 3 decades. Give him another year and it'd be 3 decades. Because as soon as Landon was into anything, like one of the first things he was ever into as a human, as someone that has conscious thought, was Superman. Like when we were kids, like Landon's favorite superhero, like luckily our mom has saved all of our action figures, so we get to keep like our action figures from when we were 3 years old. And it was Superman. It was
And I'd wear the blanket around my neck and the underwear over my pants.
Yep.
Everyone did the blanket around their neck. I know
Yeah.
that much.
You did that too?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
did the towel or the blanket.
What superhero were you when you were doing that?
I don't know. I was just wearing a cape because it was cool.
Yeah. I
You don't have to have a reason to wear a cape.
That's true.
I
I
was-
guess you could be like a Lord of the Rings character and still wear a cape, right?
Hmm.
They kind of
I
have
think that's
capes,
technically
right?
a cloak, bro.
Or a Jedi.
Oh, a cloak. I'm sorry.
Or a Jedi. Who
I'm not
knows?
kidding.
Or
Yeah,
a Jedi,
yeah.
They're all about that.
Those were the cloaks, though. Yeah.
I kind of was thinking the other day, like, a cape used to be a piece of attire that people would wear.
Oh, yeah.
That's a trip to think about.
Well,
Yeah, people have worn capes since forever.
Like, that was like, you'd wear your
why
cape.
can't we bring that back?
Because The Incredibles made it perfectly clear that capes kill superheroes.
I need to
guess.
watch The Incredibles again. Because I was listening to...
It's a wonder Batman has lived as long as he did with that big ass cape.
Listening to Kevin Smith and his co-host Mark Bernard and talk about how like they honestly said The Incredibles is the best superhero movie ever made, and I was like, what? That's what they think is. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I gotta look back at it and kind of.
Pixar's
I
good.
guess it's pretty solid as a superhero movie, and it doesn't ruin a comic book series. Like it doesn't like, oh, this has so many problems because it doesn't follow the comics.
Pixar's good at mixing their in gritty reality with your children's movie.
I just had this moment where I so thought that you guys weren't talking about The Incredibles, the Pixar movie. I was like, I wonder what this movie is that I haven't seen. How come? And I was
No, we're
picturing
talking
this
about.
like.
I'm talking about the kids' movie.
I was like, this must be like some super awesome like indie film that's like got this super deep storyline. It's probably really like rugged, like really like definitely
You
rated
seen
R.
Incredibles?
Yeah, I've seen it a ton of times. I have
Okay.
kids.
Alright. Oh, have you watched it with your kids?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
ingrained in my memory because I watched it repeatedly when I was sick once.
It's a
Alright.
good superhero movie. It's funny.
Yeah. So, Spence, what do you know about like Justice League and stuff and what they're doing? You don't know anything? What are your thoughts, Curtis, about them doing like a different like the same Flash, like when they could be doing like a different version of Flash. There's different versions of Flash, but yet for some reason they're doing the same character in the movie series as the TV series.
But using a different actor.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, weird.
yeah, it's what you know.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of conflict often between the people who make the movies for the company and
Yeah.
the people who make the shows for the
But that's not the
company.
case with Marvel.
That's what-
Marvel is
I've seen some
Daredevil's
things.
world and Jessica Jones' world is inside of the movie world of the Avengers and all
Oh.
that.
Do you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, actually, I'm guilty of not watching that, even if I am a decent fan of Marvel.
Did you watch all the Netflix ones?
No,
forgot if
I haven't
asked you
seen
that.
those in any.
You haven't seen Daredevil?
No, I've only seen the
my
movies because I
gosh.
worked at the bloody theater when this whole superhero renaissance
Dude, we gotta
started
binge
with
watch
Iron
all
Man.
of them. We gotta do
Yeah.
Daredevil.
I was
Jessica
telling
Jones,
Hannah
Daredevil,
I'm gonna
Luke
have to watch
Cage.
Daredevil.
She hasn't seen Daredevil?
No. Well, she hasn't seen a lot of stuff. Like, I have to go back through years of movies and stuff because her parents, like, weren't that into it.
Oh, has she seen Matrix?
You know, I started working
I don't know if she has.
my theater job in Arizona. I started
I think so,
working
actually.
like literally the week or the week after Iron Man the first Iron Man
Oh,
came
cool.
out.
Oh, really?
So I literally started working at the movie theater when that whole superhero binge started ramping up to 11
Yeah.
after that became so successful.
Huh. I think that's right around the time that I stopped working at the theater. I don't know, but I do remember seeing it.
When did Iron
I
Man
saw it
come
with
out?
some random girl, and I was just like, "Oh, how good was that?" And
Iron Man was
Just
really,
movie.
really,
but it was a really good movie.
yeah. it was
Game,
really good.
game changer for the Marvel world for sure.
So
Marvel had not done anything like that before.
Yeah, and it was just really.
They've been really good about putting out game changers too. Like
Yeah,
just when you think Marvel can't one up themselves, they came out with Guardians of the Galaxy.
and it was just pretty. It was such a fun, bizarre, and awesome movie.
But I don't really
Like,
feel
so
like
much
the
different than
Avengers
other
movies
things.
are really one upping anything they've done before. They're kind of just doing it and they're doing it well, but
Yeah, do you mean like with the last one with Captain America, Winter Soldier? Was that the last one?
No,
no,
they're
I'm talking
Civil
about
War.
Avengers.
Civil
like the
War,
actual
Civil War,
Avengers.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean technically that's not an Avengers movie, but it's
Oh,
still
yeah,
it
yeah.
basically feels like an Avengers movie.
The last Avengers movie was with
It's got
Ultron.
enough superheroes to be an
Yeah,
Avengers.
Ultron was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Good.
do you think the solution?
What were you laughing at?
It was decent. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was nothing. It didn't surpass the first one, obviously. But then again, surpassing the first one is often difficult because it's always the big blowout experience the first time you're experiencing this type of movie with this type of cast.
Yeah.
It holds a greater memory for you than
Yep.
oh, they're back again and now they're doing this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Now they're fixing all of Tony's mistakes again.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get too on the Marvel topic, but I will say my favorite Marvel movie.
I already filling this out right now. I don't think this is going to be a DC exclusive podcast.
Hey, we
Just
tried.
because it seems
but
like
got
the
off
general,
track.
we all kind of generally know Marvel better than DC.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just because it's more out there and more prevalent. In the
But
world.
DC is trying to fall in their shoes. That's what I was kind of trying to go down the road of.
and they're
is
trying to do it a
Justice
different way.
League.
I'm stoked to see Justice League. I
Did you
liked.
and you didn't? Did you see Batman vs Superman?
I did. Did you see
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman?
No, I actually didn't see it.
Whoa.
Oh
when
yeah. I
it,
knew
well, when
that,
it came
yeah.
out, I already quit my theater job, and
Right.
I was in that rut where I don't want to go see any movies anymore for a little while.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Like-
That's what makes sense.
The first movie I saw, like out of that, was probably like 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what the hell I saw.
Yeah.
Last one in recent memory was like Rogue One.
Yep.
I think it's gonna,
Must-sees.
for the first time, like, I think a Justice League movie is really good for Superman. For so long, they've been doing Superman movies where he's just by himself, and it's like, you know, it's always just like this god amongst kind of mortals, and then one kind of god character, kind of
That's why there's
opposing
not
god
an Ultron
character.
movie.
But I think what will be good for this new Justice League movie is seeing them all trying to do this without Superman, because, well, no spoilers, but I'll just say that they're going to be starting off without Superman, and then to see Superman come in and basically be a their Deus Ex Machina, their god machine that, like in many movies, suddenly this god kind of thing comes into the movie and saves the characters. I think Superman is going to be like that in Justice League. That's just my prediction.
I still think it was a mistake they decided to kill him off.
In the first...
So okay.
Quote-unquote kill.
Yeah.
He's not dead.
No, they did cram way too much into that one movie.
But I gotta say this, though. Like, Civil War had a ton of stuff in it. But it was directed and the whole movie made sense. Like...
They didn't have... I mean, I totally disagree, because Civil War was built on many, many movies of Ant-Man and...
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, that's a great point. Great point.
All the previous Avengers movies, and you saw how that team came together, and you saw, how the team kind of split into two sides.
Yep.
Batman vs. Superman, it goes from 0 to 60 in 2 hours, which in a car is very slow, but in a movie it's just like, you had Doomsday, you had Lex Luthor being as a teenager pretty much, like as a really young Lex Luthor, and you did both The Dark Knight Returns, one of the greatest Batman comic books, and you threw that in with The Death of Superman, which is one of the best Superman comic books. But both those comic books are amazing by themselves. Mm-hmm. You try to cram them together.
They need to pace themselves.
Yeah.
They can't try to clash so many
All they
iconic
had to do
moments.
was just create a little bit more... all they need to do is make that 2 movies.
Yeah.
And not try to, run the whole thing that fast.
Yeah.
And stick to the comic books.
But I think the whole issue with, doing a reset with the characters and trying to do something that Marvel's doing is there's been so many Superman movies that just come and go that I think that there need to be a Superman movie. I think there need to be a reset Batman movie, because they're not going to get...
Dude, there's, such a small amount of time between Batman movies, though. I mean, Dark Knight Rises wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. And Ben Affleck, he didn't kill Batman for me. I didn't think he did.
No, he did.
I thought he did.
That's what job. I think that's the consensus of the movie, is he was the best part of, and that's what surprised everyone. Yeah. But it's what everyone thought was going to be amazing wasn't, and what everyone thought was going to suck was the best part. Batman, or Ben Affleck, and just how they played Batman too. The action scenes he did, that fight scene where he's going in to save Martha is incredible, where he's just
his resourcefulness was really good, man. He just
throws this guy's head into this wooden box and stuff and stabs a dude.
Yeah, it's pretty implied. It's pretty implied that he kills people in that movie, right?
Accidentally.
Well,
except for the part. Well, here's what I thought of just a few days ago. Actually, I think Batman's trying to. Basically, he's functioning, instead of functioning like a superhero, he's functioning like a cop. He's kind of lowered his standards because he's this disgruntled Batman.
And then you get into the political messages, right?
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah. But my thought is he's shooting people that are shooting at him first.
Wait, does he actually shoot a damn gun in that
No,
movie?
not a gun. But
okay.
Not a gun in his hand, but he has machine guns in his Batmobile that blow up cars that people are inside of. You know?
Okay, I need to actually
We don't know
watch
if those people actually died. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you do need to watch it, dude. It's a must-see.
By the way, other conversation.
A lot of Batman fans are really rabid about people using him and violating his cardinal rules about
dude, he
no
has
killing
this
and
bat
not using a gun.
bat symbol ring thing that he uses as a hot iron and burns it into enemies that have like been convicted of like horrible things like rape and stuff like that, so that once they go in prison, people know that that person's done some terrible stuff, and those people end up getting killed in prison. That's not the reason he was leaving that mark on them, but that's what ends up happening because of Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor gets involved and has, these prisoners killing prisoners with the bat symbol burned into them.
Yep.
It's intense, dude. It's really good. But I'm hoping too, with the new Justice League, they're going a lot lighter. I hope that extends to Superman. And I hope Superman stops being so emo and just like, especially prepare for a very emo Superman in Batman vs. Superman. He talks about, so hard to be a superhero with superpowers and be invincible.
It's so hard to be the man who killed the last of his race by snapping his neck.
Yeah. If only there was like 100 other ways I could have resolved this situation.
So does he go full like scene emo boy in the
He's just like
beginning of the movie?
It doesn't look like that, but he pretty much like...
He just keeps talking about how like, keeps on acting like it's so hard. Like, he's just like, no one stays good in this world. And Lois is trying to talk him out of killing Batman. And he's like, no one stays good in this world. I have to do this to save my mom. And...
Does Batman threaten to kill his mom?
No, Lex Luthor does. Lex Luthor wants them to fight.
Oh, is this part of the convoluted Luthor plot?
Yeah.
I read that online at some point and I was very confused. But I guess it all worked out in a many coincidences lining up kind of way.
Yeah. I think Lex Luthor's involvement of like setting up everything made more sense to me than what happens in Civil War. But it's funny, if you look at what happens in Civil War and what happens in Batman vs. Superman, very similar.
Yeah.
And they came out around the same time. It's like one director got hold of what the other director was doing, or writer was doing. One writer got hold of what the other writer was doing, because they both came out with the same concept at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it was Marvel stealing from DC, because they had been planning on doing a Batman vs. Superman movie for like years, for like 10 years.
Wow.
And the different scripts had come out. That's why you see that in I Am Legend. You see that where it's like coming out in 2015, the poster in the background. Have you ever seen that? There's a poster, a movie poster, and it's a Batman vs. Superman poster, and it says coming out in 2015. I Am Legend came out in like what, 2007, 2006?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that they were really close. They were off by like a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It sure gave them plenty of times for rewrites and reshoots and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
I think that can happen too when you're trying too hard, and it just gets more like you're trying to make this masterpiece, but then you're watching it and it's just like the viewer's like, what the heck is happening to me right now?
Well,
like
I think what happened with Batman vs. Superman is they're gonna make a Batman vs. Superman movie, and then they decided we're gonna compete with Marvel. They adjusted the script so that it could be Dawn of Justice, the entry into Justice League.
Yeah. Who's all the characters that show up at the end?
Aquaman, Flash, and Wonder Woman. Well, you just see images of Aquaman and Flash and Cyborg.
Yeah.
And Flash appears, he visits from the future and tells Batman you know, you're right about Superman and Lois is the key to keeping him from becoming evil, kind of thing.
Mm.
That sounds like an Injustice plug right there.
Yeah.
With what happened to Lois and that.
I know, and they're doing that's what I think it is like, in the movie it's played out as like a dream sequence, but I don't think it's really a dream sequence. I think it's a multiverse kind of thing. And Batman doesn't realize it, but dude, I think the DC world is going to be way more complex and deep and trippy than Marvel world because of Flash, we have a lot of like time travel kind of stuff going and a lot of multiverse kind of stuff that happens.
So he can time travel.
Yeah, Flash can time travel. You've never seen the show, Flash?
No.
I've heard a lot of
Watch
jokes
Flash.
about the time travel.
Wait, how does he
in
time
Flash?
He goes it's kind of like a Back to the Future kind of thing. He goes so fast that
Does he
can
do the treadmill in the show or
breaks
no?
through time. Yeah.
Oh.
There's this huge circle thing, and he runs so fast around it that at a certain point he creates a time portal and travels through time. It's the whole like quantum time theory kind of thing.
You're going so fast forward, you start reversing basically.
Science fiction. Emphasis on the fiction.
Yeah.
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 But I
That's
mean,
cool,
it's
though.
slightly based on science. You know, it's based on theories of time travel.
Yeah.
Right to the point where you start going back into the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it gets a little iffy on the science part.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah, because
I mean, come on, we're talking about
backwards,
a
right?
world where a man can fly and shoot lasers out of his eyes. So
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
think
the
we
thing.
can let the science of it go.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
But-
and just roll with it. Like, if you don't just roll with stuff when you're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then you're just, like, annoyed the whole time. You just gotta roll with it on that show and be like, yeah, totally. They can make that. They can totally make that thing right there.
How's
Well-
that show even doing right now? Last I heard, it was doing pretty decently after like the whole rough start it had in the first season.
I like it.
Wait, what show?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
So it's corny
yeah.
a lot of times.
Well, that's Marvel for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's corny and quippy all over.
Yeah. And but it's fun. Like it's and you like 2 episodes out of every season will have like appearances from a character from one of the movies, or they will have to totally adjust around to the movies because the worlds it's the same world.
Yeah, obviously.
So it's that part's fun about this show, and I don't know. It's just a kind of like, I don't know. It feels like, definitely feels like a CSI sitcom superhero movie. Like it's kind of like all at once. Like it seems like they're doing crime investigation. Kind of feels a little bit like a sitcom, and it kind of feels like a superhero movie, all mixed into one. So definitely like American TV.
So it has superheroes in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
Other
tons.
than just.
tons of superheroes. They're called Inhumans.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Marvel's really pushing the Inhuman bit lately.
Are they gonna?
They're throwing the X-Men under the bus in the comics just to push the Inhumans. I've been reading a few of those, and it's been... they made Cyclops basically into mutant Hitler, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I like them. I think they're good.
You think they're gonna make a? You think Inhuman characters are gonna be in the Inhumans movie they're planning on making, or are they'll? I don't know, because I had heard there was gonna be an Inhumans movie
They're planning on
Really?
it, but
or a series.
it's up in the air,
Like a
I
short
think, right
series.
now.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it in a long time, but they're planning on a movie at least.
Oh, that's right. And there's 2 characters that left that were pretty main characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I know that there was talk around them having their own show.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, real close to the Defenders. Iron Fist is supposed to come out, I think, either this month or next month.
I'm stoked about Iron Fist. I don't know anything about Iron Fist. I want to start reading more comics like before I watch the shows, so I can kind of reference.
Yeah.
I think it'd make it more enjoyable, and then also make me more pretentious when I'm watching it. This is not accurate to the comics.
You should check out. I mean, I haven't really read it. I've just kind of know some basic stuff, but Daredevil: The Man Without Fear. It's written by Frank Miller that did one of the greatest Batman comics, The Dark Knight Returns. And it's good. It's really good.
It's awesome. Yeah, dude, the Daredevil series is amazing.
I heard there's like some really good fight scenes where it's all consistent. It's not like it's not like moving around for different shots. It's like one long shot.
Oh yeah.
Moving down a hallway while he's kicking everybody's ass.
Episode 2 of season 1. Right at the end of that episode, you see this hallway scene where it's just like almost one continuous shot, and you start seeing like people getting tired during the fight, including Daredevil.
Yep.
And part of that's like, intentional, but part of that's just like
he's getting
legit.
tired.
They're all just getting tired because they're all just fighting for so long.
Well, it makes the scene more legitimate.
And in movies, and especially like the big superheroes, like they punch someone, that person Captain America punches someone, they're down. That character is done. But when Daredevil's fighting people, he's just a man. He's just got man strength. He's just got normal strength. And so when he's fighting these people and he punches people, they might fall down, but they're going to get back up, So he has to either get away from them or keep just fighting and fighting them,
Yeah.
And the way he does it is just so awesome.
I mean, it's why I like Netflix series in general, because they're not making a TV series with a huge consideration of how we're going to build our segments around commercials. And I think that, like, artistically as a director, like, you get to think, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have 15 hours of content altogether. Like, I get 15 hours to tell this story. And I don't have to work around anything. I'm just breaking it up into chapters and segments.
And people don't have to wait for the episode, so you can make it like a really, really long movie.
Yes.
You don't have to, instead of making a whole bunch of really small movies.
Yeah.
Because on a normal TV show that's on once every week, if you don't sell it that week, if there's just a portion of it where then it doesn't work.
Yep.
You have to have a really enjoyable experience that one day, start to finish storyline. But this, you can kind of start setting things up, and you can feel it building towards something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what sucks. You either get a short 2.5, 3-hour movie like Max-ish that tells like a really good plot in like a really short amount of time, so it feels rushed, but it has a high budget, or you get a TV show with a low budget but has a much longer time to tell a better story. But the low budget makes the action scenes kind of a little lower quality, but
I would say that's where they
the story or the action.
That's where they took a leap in Daredevil. Is like they did not shorthand the action scenes.
No.
Like the action scenes in that movie are in that show are as good or better than most action movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Like really good action scenes where you can rewatch them over and over. The
Punisher in prison.
Punisher in prison.
That's my favorite.
Daredevil,
one of my favorite action scenes.
After he like when he goes up against the Punisher, and then when he's like going down that building and he's having to fight all those motorcycle guys going down those stairs. Yep. Oh, and then when he gets to the bottom and there's just this red light, and he finds that chain. Punisher had chained him up, but he broke through that chain, so now he just has a chain as a weapon, and you see everything's just red, and you just barely see Daredevil in the dark with this chain, and you could tell like they're afraid, even though they're all these tough biker dudes. You could tell that this guy with this chain, and, oh man, when he just starts whipping people with that.
I think
he whips it.
to watch
He
it.
whips it
Yeah,
around someone's leg. He'll whip it around someone's leg and pull them to the ground. Like, oh,
Dude.
Yeah.
I like.
hit the wind or hit the lights so they can't see anymore because he doesn't need to see.
Yep.
So he's just like hitting the lights.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't need computers to make a good action scene. It just needs to feel visceral and intimate.
Yep.
You need to feel like, oh, that guy got punched in the gut like that. I feel like that would hurt.
Yeah.
Like I just felt.
You see
that.
somebody get punched by like a Thor-like character and like, ha ha ha, I couldn't imagine being punched like that. But you see a normal guy punch a normal guy and you see him blood coming out of his mouth and you're just like, yeah, that looks like that would hurt. That looks pretty damn painful.
Yeah, and you see Deadpool, I mean Daredevil get real bloody at the end of these fights, and
Dude,
he's beat up.
I
and
feel like
he has
I'm
to
hurt.
recover.
I feel like I got hurt when I'm watching that.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
That whole sense of uncanny valley. Like, you can't
Yeah.
imagine getting punched by some superpowered person, but you can imagine getting punched by some normal dude.
Yeah, and being
And it
a
hurt.
dude. Yeah. Yep.
Totally. Yeah, but he got off track.
Oh,
From
I had a
DC.
question. So with the new Justice League coming out,
Yeah.
what would be like? What do you want to see the most? Like,
What I
with
want
the
to
movie?
see is, I mean, the way they're selling it, just from the short trailer that they showed. Did I show you that?
yeah, I've seen it.
Where, yeah, you, like, he, oh yeah, I showed you at Lost Coast Brewery or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just, the way they're playing it so far looks so good. If, what they said is they're gonna make Flash kind of the comedic relief in it, and he's kind of Ezra Miller is kind of an awkward,
That sounds
he
par
plays
for
an
the
awkward
course.
guy, but awkward kind of comedy. I don't know. I think it will be really good, and yeah, just to have it kind of that lighthearted kind of thing, but still that dark kind of like feel where it's like the problem I have with Marvel's movies is they feel too like their jokes. I feel like the jokes in
They're
Justice League are actually gonna not make me cringe.
Do they feel like they're too reliant on in-jokes and quippy little comebacks to every other
They're so
thing
quippy
said
and
by
they're
them?
not even like.
Well, they found their niche
know,
and
man.
they're gonna stay in it as long as they're
Marvel,
making
yeah, Marvel's
money.
doing just fine. They don't need, but
that's the
they don't need
Their
to change
pop
for
culture,
me.
like how did the comic world make it all the way through pop culture? Like, and just like everyone likes comic characters now. You know,
Yeah,
everyone thinks it's cool.
Yeah, people don't remember back in the 60s and 70s when comics were like outrageous, full of outrageous kind of sci-fi antics and whatnot, and had were quippy too.
yeah. I mean,
like old school lingo.
yeah.
People.
And quipping in comics is better, I think, than like lines where they're like, "Well, everyone's got a gimmick now," or like when Spider-Man is doing all those moves.
Yeah, they gotta make
What's
sure.
the guy with the wings? With the robotic wings?
Falcon?
Falcon.
In Marvel?
Yeah. So I was rewatching Civil War, and some of his lines are so cheesy. I was just like,
Well, he's just being this. He's being this more or less the straight man, the cynic, who's
Yeah.
just casually observing how ridiculous everything is, and just like,
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much how
there's
things
that-
are going now.
There's that line where he's like, if you could have used that Red Hawk before, why didn't you? And he's like, I hate you. It's like, that's stuff like we would say to each other in like sixth grade or something. Like, why are these adults in this modern age making quippy jokes like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that there's that more real feeling of realism.
I feel like
in
Ezra
DC.
Miller, his whole thing, just in that trailer, he's like, oh, so you're fast. Batman seems like he's a little quippy, but Flash's response is, oh, I feel like that's a oversimplification. And then, like, he goes into this big, long thing that's funny, but it doesn't have to be quippy and, like, just a quick catchphrase that's, like, mindless. It's, like, actually thought out and stuff.
Yeah. I think that, like Daredevil, when he is in a super intense battle, he's not telling jokes. Like, it's... Yeah. When there would be comedic relief, but it would be when they're, like, chilling out and they're at the law office.
That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite scenes in Age of Ultron. When they're just in the beginning after the opening action scene, when they're just having the little powwow in the Avengers Tower and just having the meet and greet with, like, the veterans that are there. And everybody's just chatting it up. Those are some of the best scenes in the comic books too, by far. Like, you catch Wolverine playing cards with, like, a bunch of other superheroes or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what it's
and
gotta
if that doesn't bleed over to, like, the intense action, like, life and death is on the line, and Tony Stark is...
Well, what it's gotta be is, like, it's gotta be people that are uncomfortable with action, right? Yeah. People that are uncomfortable with intense action scenes, so that if there's, like, a witty, kind of lighthearted joke in the middle of all that action, then they're more comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. We figured it out.
That's why I like what DC is doing. DC.
Dude, it'd be sweet if DC was like that. But I want to like the characters, though. I want to have a reason to like the characters. Like, that's what I want to have more than anything. Is I want to really, really, like, whoever's playing Superman, I want to have a reason to like... Because it's kind of hard to like
Henry Cavill. You saw Man of Steel, right?
Yeah, I think of that scene in Man of Steel when... What is it? That truck driver in the bar is, like, giving him a rough time, and, like, Superman just, like, screwed up his truck just for the hell of it. Yeah. Like, impaled it on a pole. Like, Superman, what a dick.
No, I mean, that
guy was being mean, but, like, I think that's a little bit of a few steps up.
Well, you could probably assume it's like a company kind of truck, and insurance is going to cover it and stuff like that.
Well, you're not given that information in the film.
You're not given the information, but I don't think anybody is expected to care about whose truck that is, you know?
Yeah, but I guess it was kind of a comedy moment, just like... Yeah. Trucker, you don't know who you're messing with.
And but what's so great about humor like that is, like, it's something where Superman's just showing his power, but you don't see him do it, and he doesn't use any words. He doesn't have to say, like, a quippy, clever joke. He just be Superman in a funny kind of way.
Yeah.
And more of that. More of that.
I just realized that you have a QT cup. And that means that you definitely got that from way far away.
Have you been to Arizona? You haven't been to Arizona, have you?
Well, there's QTs are all over, but...
Well, I don't know where they are outside of Arizona, but there's QT on, like, every corner in Phoenix.
Yeah, I just found that funny because, like...
Yeah, I've had that cup for, like, 2 years now.
Where did you get that?
Because there's definitely no QTs in Humboldt. I like Michael Scott from The Office. I like who he is. And he is a cringe character. Yeah. Like, everyone naturally hates him at first, but because of character development, and I think as...
He's cringy at first, before you get to know him, I think.
Exactly. And then I think the reality of everyone that lives on planet Earth is that if you really, really knew everyone, that you would have something that you would like about them. Like, if you really knew everyone. And maybe
well,
but that's
but I think getting to know the person means getting to know, like, the only way that works is if you get to know why they are the way they are.
And that's what I hope we get to see.
We get Michael's jokes when we start to appreciate them because who he is motivates his humor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
that's what we have to get from
DC.
Well, or Marvel.
Or Marvel, yeah.
It's like being the only serious guy in a troupe full of comedians on a show. It becomes the point where the serious guy, his shtick is he is the serious guy, and that's the funny part because he's the only one who realizes how ridiculous everything is that's going on around him is.
Yeah.
Which is basically like Jim.
Yeah. Well, and like, I don't know, like, that's one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like, they so quickly made, what's the, big dude, that wanted to kill the alien chick, oh, I should know these names right now.
Drax. Yeah.
One of the most funniest characters I've ever seen in a movie. Just hilarious.
Yeah.
Because of just who he is. He's just so simple and so so non-figurative that it's just amazing.
He has no sense of humor, and that's what makes him hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, he finds things hilarious. It's just in the ways that wouldn't be most conventional.
The trailer for the second one's so great when he just starts laughing. It's so great, man.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe his humor is so removed from our conventional, or like our...
Like, I hope the Flash makes sense why he's funny if he's funny, you know?
Yeah.
And I hope it just, like, feels right. It's like, I like that he's being funny right now.
He's not just being funny.
I don't feel like I'm just being, like, schmoozed over with, like, oh, hey, I get my comedic relief now.
Well, I'd imagine, this is what I would hope for Flash, then. I would hope that he uses humor to cope with his pain. That's what a lot of comedians do. And his pain is the fact that he lost his mom, and he wants to go back through... That's a big part of, like, why he travels through time, is because he's trying to save his mom from dying.
Oh.
Yeah, and he can't find a way how, because what happens is the first time he ends up being able to travel through time and try to save his mom, he sees himself there, and himself there tells him, no, don't save her. And he ends up finding out why. And it's like, if he saves her, then things get way worse.
For her?
For the whole world.
Probably everything.
Yeah.
That's how time travel works. Once you start messing with it, things start getting worse and worse.
If you read or hear about the comic Flashpoint, it's all about how he does save his mom, and basically the whole world is like post-apocalyptic, and like Superman is... I forget what happens with him, but yeah, everyone's just...
We're at 42 minutes right now. Could we take this segment in time to talk about it? Talk about time. Time itself. Because what you're saying, if you go back in time and change it, then it messes it up.
Well, it depends on your whole, your preconceived notion of time travel in general. Whether it be, parallel universes at branching points when you make a decision, or just altering the past alters whatever's present. It's just one giant timeline straight up.
Yeah.
Well,
I like the parallel universes idea myself, but it depends on what theory is subscribed.
Well, so the other idea is that even if you go back in time, you can't change the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and so have you guys ever heard that, like, the fourth dimension is time?
Yeah.
Yep. Interstellar made that clear.
Yeah, it did. It did. I've seen Interstellar, then you know that.
Yeah.
As long as you weren't sleeping. What do you guys think that's, like, true? Like, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a possibility.
It's all theory until you can actually perceive it.
Well, I mean, the idea is, okay, you have the first 3 dimensions. That's your, X, Y, Z axis. But what gives any of those accesses meaning is time. So for those accesses to expand, it requires time, right? If there's no time, there's no movement for those accesses, and no elements to move through those axes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think the time has to be... And there's other theories that say it's something like the 10th dimension or something like that. So, it could be...
Too many dimensions.
I totally...
There's just so many parameters.
I totally heard that where there's, like, tons of dimensions. Like, dude, that's such abstract thought. Like,
but, I mean, think about how many parameters there are to reality.
I can't really think about
We
it.
just
'cause
are
we don't
born-
really know
Right.
that.
I mean, we're born and we
make-
just look at the world.
We make our sense of reality with 5 senses.
Yeah.
So those 5 things define everything that we know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I can't picture what it'd be like to, I kind of can and I kind of can't picture what it'd be like to see the X, Y, and Z axis, right?
Yeah.
With, like, without time. Like, because if you're apart from time, then, you know, if it was going to do, like, eventually do a circle, right? Like, okay, so the Earth is spinning around the sun, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're outside of time, then you would see a complete, like, a complete circle around the sun, right? Is that what it would be like? Because you would see it...
If you stood alone from time, outside of everything,
Yeah.
you'd be like constantly perceiving everything in every place at every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So that you would
I
see-
think it
That would be
like,
that'd be sensory overload if I ever saw
Yeah.
anything.
I know it.
Have you ever seen like a painting where like it? I've seen this painting where it like goes through time in a sense. It's like different historical periods through time. That's what I picture it would be like. Being able to look at the beginning at the end and you look back and forth. It's just there. It's not going forward or backwards.
Mhm. I think the hardest thing to think about, like, being
But
able to
what brought it to being there was time.
I know, and that's the hardest thing to picture about not being within time, because you'd be sensory overload, but in that
Well,
And
that
that
implies if
idea-
you're able to stand outside of time, you have human senses to begin with.
yeah, because the only way that we're able to obtain information is within time. So if you didn't need time to obtain information, then you'd be able to seal things and know things all at the same time.
Honestly, I think you would have to create a new religion in order to say that the fourth dimension isn't time. Because both the Big Bang Theory and God saying, "Let there be light," suggests that time is a factor to our creation. If it's all from the Big Bang Theory, it starts from there's nothing, and then those X, Y, Z will expand, and then you say, "Let there be light," you know, God speaking reality into existence. It's the same
It's about
thing.
the same, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
got off topic real fast.
Well,
Yeah.
this does.
Yeah, well, why did
This
you
does
decide
relate.
we're talking about time instead of talking about DC?
Because we're talking about the Flash.
Okay.
It's
But
all about the Flash, clearly.
All I know is the number one rule in comics is when you start screwing with time travel, stuff starts getting crazy, and that's why you don't mess with time travel, but they always do.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's always what happens in comics. I don't think
I think with God.
It definitely gets too complicated to start messing. I do hope though at the same time I would be very open to them doing like a dabbling in multi-dimensional stuff and dabbling in time stuff. But if the whole DC movie universe is about how complex of a time story it can be, because I'm already lost on Flash. I know he's going back through time again, and I'm just like, oh, I can't.
On the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
God,
gonna still
I need
watch
to
it,
watch
but
it.
I'm probably gonna be really.
doesn't he have
confused.
like an apprentice? Barry is Barry.
Alan?
Doesn't he have like a sidekick now or?
Well, the other Flash
Yeah.
guy. I'm not caught up to that yet.
No.
That's season 3, but
Um,
I mean, it's a sad show, dude. You have to have Heart of Stone to not tear up at that show.
Yeah.
Because not only is he trying to save
It's
his
scary 'cause
mom.
I don't even have a heart.
Okay, well,
So-
perfect.
Mhm.
Watch it, and you won't
Yeah.
have to worry about crying. Not only is he trying to save his mom from dying, he's trying to get his dad was put into jail because they thought that he did it, even though he sees a yellow figure, which he later finds out is the Reverse Flash, is the one that actually killed his mom. But
Wait, Reverse Flash.
yeah, the Reverse Flash goes back to like the 40s or 50s in comic books. And it's like...
yeah, it's some intense stuff.
The alternate version of him from the future.
Oh, what a jerk.
Or
so
it's
he's
not,
so nice and he's so mean.
It's not an alternate version of him, it's like a rival of his from the future. That goes back in time. And here's the really trippy thing, dude. This rival dude goes back in time to try to kill his mom. Or to try to kill him, but he realizes he can't, so he kills his mom. But then he's stuck there. I forget why. Like, for some reason, he can't travel through time on his own. I guess Barry was a big part of him being able to travel back in time in the first place. And so he ends up having to train the Flash up to be able to travel through time again, so that he himself can travel through time, but the whole time he just wants to kill the Flash. But so for years he's just been waiting, and then he takes on the Flash as like an apprentice.
Dang.
So that he can then kill him and go back to his future time. Trippy story, dude. Yep. But it's good. And a little bit of that I think could be good. In the series, in the movies.
Yep.
I mean, they're dabbling in that, and what I think would be trippy too is like, what if you found out that all the characters in the Justice League, this Superman that we're seeing and the Batman we're seeing, is kind of like Injustice, and they're actually
it's like the beginning of
they're the bad side, and so like. The Superman we've been watching this whole time ends up becoming the evil Superman that kills the Joker.
And then they can introduce a new player a new person to play the next Superman who ends up beating him.
And a whole different, like, we find out this is not even supposed to be our Justice League, and the real Justice League has to come in from another dimension.
That could actually be really cool.
And the whole time it's just kind of bouncing back and forth. Or like we think we're seeing one Justice League, but we're actually seeing a Justice League in another dimension.
Yeah.
Like, just go into that a little bit. Just find the right way to do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it would be cool, like, that's something Marvel's not doing, is like huge kind of like twists. It'd be cool to see them do like a huge twist.
Yeah.
Well, they do little twists in their movies.
Like what?
Little twists. Well, what was it? Like, Thor 2 with the whole deception where it looks like Loki cuts off Thor's arm near the end of the movie.
Where which one?
In Thor...
Thor Underworld or something like that?
No, what the hell was that one called? It's the second Thor movie. Loki, they're going before the big bad, and they...
I think I saw that movie.
Loki makes it look like he cuts off Thor's hand and kicks him down a hill and starts beating him up. And it's a ruse to get Thor's, to get the aether out of Natalie Portman's character so Thor can hit it with lightning and destroy it. Because the big bad thinks Loki's helping him. But because the big bad killed their mother, Loki is more pissed off at him than he ever was at Thor.
Yeah.
For good reason.
All I know about like the whole thing with Thor and Loki is everyone has to make fun of Loki's pokey stick. Because that's not in the comics. And just like even that beginning scene of, I think it was Avengers. Was it the first Avengers where Loki has that and
he's mind controlling.
Yeah, mind controlling with that. That whole beginning scene did not even feel like a huge blockbuster $1 million movie.
Oh yeah, he's just poking people.
No, I mean just even watching it, like the way it was filmed and stuff, felt like a TV, like just a regular TV show, like something off the Sci-Fi Channel.
When's the last time you watched it?
I mean that's what I thought when I saw it in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it in It's like, this feels really awkward and just like really poorly done.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Matrix by today's standards, it would look kind of poorly done in certain parts, I'm sure.
Dude, but made in the 90s?
1999, on the cusp of the
But still, 99, man.
That's pretty crazy. We should rewatch the Matrix movies and talk about them for our next one.
The one thing I thought that looked out of place, because I watched it like less than a year ago. The ripple effects on the bullets were a little much, it seemed like, for the CGI. It's just like, we get it, the bullets are moving slow, but you don't need these giant ripples behind them.
I remember watching
but they looked
that.
cool at the time.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that too, and then talking to my science teacher about that, and it made it that much more fascinating that she was like, you know what? That could actually be a thing. If you slow down time, you might actually be able to see.
Well, they have those crazy, like 4,000 frames per second cameras that are able to capture that stuff more.
I mean, I don't think it really looks like it does in the Matrix, but if you do, there are certain types of waves that if you slow them down, you can actually see the ripples. It's mostly from like airplanes and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's fascinating. Cool to see. That's where they got the idea, is that if you
from like planes going over Mach 1 when they when they go,
it creates an actual ripple that you can see.
Yep.
So that was the idea behind that.
That's cool.
But
let's see where we're at. 56. How should we finish this up?
What are your guys' top 5 favorite superheroes?
Oh Lord.
That was the question I asked on Facebook.
I saw you post this on Facebook an hour or two ago.
Yeah, but to actually hear it will be good.
Are we defining superhero in the sense of Marvel and DC?
Yeah, it has to be either Marvel or DC, because I regret not specifying that, and then someone...
Yeah, because I have some superhuman heroes that I like from other medias. But...
Right. Let's just stick to Marvel and DC.
I haven't even really thought of this too much.
I know, I haven't thought.
That's alright. I'll just start off saying mine are Superman, Daredevil, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Spider-Man. And then I thought about it later, I was like, those are all that have been in like big movies, like old movies that...
Yeah, you look like a tool, we all know.
I know. I look like a total superhero tool. But even as I dive deeper into like these worlds and stuff, it's still, there's a reason why they put those characters on the screens. It's because there's so much depth to each of those characters.
Yes, they're the most attractive.
Just great stories.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm at 2 so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some, but
I think Superman to me is more like, the reason I've always liked Superman is because you have someone that can be so incredibly gentle-hearted. Like, the real Superman to me is somebody that doesn't want to hurt anybody, but yet can destroy the whole world.
Yeah.
And he has all that power.
Yeah.
But he holds it back.
Super humble.
Yeah, super humble.
Yeah.
Super just like... so easy to just like... Yeah. He's invincible, he's super powerful, and he can fly. There's like no reason he couldn't just rule the world and take over and do things the way he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, just for him to be evil and just to, like...
You've never read the Red Sun Superman comic.
Tell me about that. And I think it's important for, like, comics like that to exist, but that's not...
It's always fun to see a character under a new spotlight.
Yeah. Exactly.
Especially
and I can appreciate that about the movies, you know, I can appreciate, you know, what they did with Superman in the movies that don't really, to me, kind of reflect his character, but it's still an interesting take, you know. But that's something I do hope they correct in like future movies, Justice League and stuff like that. Hope he comes out of the gray. I just want it to be like, you know what? I'm freaking Superman. Like, I don't need to.
Who put me in this hole?
I don't need to complain about being the most powerful being in the universe anymore. Like,
Okay. In no particular order.
okay.
Batman.
Nice. I love Batman. It's like Superman's brother.
So, Skye from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., also known as Daisy, also known as Quake. I really, really, really like the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's funny.
It's actually my favorite Marvel
I feel like
movie.
he's
Do you
even
like
funnier.
Scott Lang or Hank Pym?
Is that the main
They're
character?
both Ant-Mans at some point
Okay.
in the comics. And
Hank
Scott
was-
Lang is the main character. And
Okay.
Hank Pym was the old guy.
Okay.
Michael Douglas's character.
Yeah.
I mean,
That scene in the beginning where he like knocked him across the face really made it for me. Just
Yeah.
punched him. That's classic Hank Pym.
and then, did I say Daredevil yet?
No.
Okay, Daredevil
That's
definitely.
4.
In The Punisher.
Really?
Hands down, The Punisher.
Why the Punisher?
The Punisher?
Yeah.
The reason why I like him is because he just makes incredible sense to me. I feel like I know people that would be like him. And while he's super rough around the edges and definitely doesn't have the, oh, I'm not going to kill people thing, I think that,
So you love season 2 of Daredevil then?
yeah, season 2 of Daredevil
Is like your
gold for me.
Yeah, your ultimate superhero series.
Certainly has a reputation for not creating returnable villains who can come back and harass them
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah. He's kind of like, well, and he's what superpowers does he have? He just has lots of guns and military training, right?
He has the ridiculous ability to get out of any situation, no matter how convoluted.
He's a hero. He's just a hero.
He's just a military guy.
Rough on
He fought in some war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman levels of prep time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot.
Nothing to lose. He lost his wife and kids, so he, there's a certain, I guess, strength to that in the sense of like.
I'm a fearless.
God, there's this.
aspect. Yeah.
That reminds me. Like I was just reading it yesterday. There's this one comic run of Punisher. It all starts out like it starts out with like some news channel recording a mobster. A mobster dug up the Punisher's deceased wife and children and was pissing in their graves, and everybody's just staring at this. And just sitting at the bar is just the Punisher staring at the TV, and like. One of the lines at the beginning of the comic is like, nobody knows like how many people were killed within the next few days. I forgot what run of it was, but it's such a great Punisher comic, just because of that opening.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Curtis, what's your top 5?
I'm still having trouble thinking,
Yeah.
but
What was that? Second or third character you said?
Skye.
Skye, yeah. Who's Skye?
So Skye, she
why is she?
I know in the
nerds?
comics she's played major roles, but essentially she has the ability to like make earthquakes, but she can make them in air. Like she can vibrate stuff. She can vibrate the ground. She can vibrate people. She can vibrate all different kinds of things, and it'd be kind of like a shockwave most of the time. But she starts to learn more and more and more. And I forgot who it was that she was in this like the world's going to end moment, and she's not the person that they expect is going to save the day, but she is makes an earthquake in someone's heart and they die. And that's not in the show. That's in one of the comic books.
Yeah.
But it's like no one knows what to do, and she's like, and she just has this moments where she figures out that she can channel it, and that's specific, and she makes an earthquake in their heart and they die.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have 5, but I have a few that I don't know, I guess I've read and liked recently a lot. Like Constantine is one from DC for sure. Just because he's a smarmy British guy who deals in spells and demons and manages to slip out of a bunch of demonic contracts every other day. I don't know. He's just a fun character. A little ridiculous, but fun.
Yeah, a lot of people mention him. I think I saw that that movie years ago, but
Yeah, and he has some fun crossovers. Like, technically, I doubt you've ever seen these, but they're the Sandman comics. They take place in the DC universe.
I've heard of it.
But yeah, there's one comic where Constantine shows up for a little while in it, and he has a fun little bit that he plays with helping the main character of that comic. So, and I enjoyed that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, another one of my favorites is Hank Pym. Hank Pym. The Hank Pym Ant-Man.
The original Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for the movie, but just for some of the ridiculous stuff he does in the comics. What was this one?
Dude, those are just so funny, man.
This one old post I read like from a while ago explaining how he's one of the greatest scientists in the world because he doesn't invent things for the betterment of mankind. He doesn't invent things for great glory or great glory or whatnot. He just invents things to do other things. Like, I need to get to space to punch some alien in the face. I'm gonna build a rocket to get me there so I can punch that alien in the face. I don't know. I have it saved somewhere, but it was the funniest goddamn thing. And somebody explained his character as being like he's like a in the comics again. He's like a supervillain, but he's trying to be a superhero. But the way he's going about it is kind of supervillain-esque. Like there's one time where he becomes disenfranchised with the Avengers because he gets a little, I forgot what he does, but he builds a robot to attack a robot or something to attack the Avengers so he can stop it and save the day.
Oh my
and
God.
it's just like,
Awesome.
he's acting like a supervillain trying to be a superhero, but he was really, really bad at it.
He's basically like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
That sounds a little dead.
And there's also the obvious part where he slaps his wife across the face in that comic too for pestering him about how he's gonna mess this whole thing up, which he does. Yeah, and that's an iconic scene in those comics for sure too.
Yeah.
What is it? That's 2 DC people, right? Oh God, what was the Marvel one? There's one Marvel.
Well, that's a Marvel one.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, Hank Pym is Marvel. I don't know what
one.
I'm thinking. God, I can't. It's hard to.
Dude, I need to give you a list of some DC stuff to watch. Batman Year One is something. Do you have HBO now?
No.
Oh, I gotta hook you up, dude. And Batman Year One is one where it's the beginning of Batman, like when he first puts on the cowl and stuff, and the what's the detective's name?
Wait, you mean the Year One comics or?
No, what's that detective's name in the Batman series?
Which one?
the one he's always Commissioner Gordon, but he's just Detective Gordon in this one, and he it's intense because it's played by the voice of it is Breaking Bad guy. What's his name? Guy from Breaking Bad. And
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. And
What's that guy's name?
He ends up cheating on his wife in this. And it's just intense, dude. It's it's Batman's story and stuff. And then Dark Knight Returns. They actually one of the greatest Batman comics. They made a cartoon. It's like a 2-part thing, and it's such a crazy epic story. It's like it's really unbelievable, but it's still like entertaining. Like this whole thing about like there's this army of villains, and they're worshiping one dude that they end up following, and then Batman takes that dude out, and then they all follow him and become his army, and he uses that army against Superman because Superman is hired by the president to kill Batman. And that's where you get like the Batman vs Superman is their final battle is Batman has that spear with the kryptonite on it, and he is trying to kill Superman with it. And you got like Green Arrow, and he's missing his arm, and he's just like, I want to get that guy back. Like, basically implying that Superman at some point, somehow, and it doesn't clarify at all how it happened, but Superman like took his arm. It's like intense. It's good stuff.
That's super cool.
And then, the Killing Joke, where that one's super intense. Joker ends up.
You haven't read the.
Ends up raping Batgirl.
I don't think he. It's left to the imagination.
Yeah, basically.
But he definitely takes nude photos of her.
That's the Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and so he like captures Commissioner Gordon and sends him through this love tunnel kind of thing. And as he's riding through it and stuff, he sees all these pictures of his daughter and stuff, and he's just like basically mentally torturing Commissioner Gordon to try to prove that like anybody can be as evil as the Joker.
Oh, is that the comic where that's the one where he says like this is how far everyone this is how close everyone is to the edge, like just one bad day.
Yeah,
and they're just someone like, and there's someone like me or something like that.
Everyone's just one bad day from becoming like me, basically. Something like that.
I saw the trailer for it, for the Killing Joke.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing was so awesome. The most heroic character in that movie is not Batman, it's Commissioner Gordon. Because of one line he says, which is, don't kill the Joker. Because if you do, he wins.
Yep.
And we're better than him.
Oh, yeah.
Because Batman wants to just rip his head off.
Yeah.
And, because knowing what he did and stuff.
Yep.
And he's like, don't kill Joker.
Yep.
So good.
And then you get into the whole argument about, why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker? And then that conversation starts spiraling out of control.
Because that's not who he is, and that's not who Superman is.
Yeah.
But that's comics for you.
Yep.
Gotta keep around the popular villains.
It's not even that, it's just that's their character,
Yep.
You could have someone else kill them, but can't have... That's what I was saying. I think it'd be good if Punisher killed Kingpin.
Yeah,
right?
Punisher did.
Daredevil shouldn't kill Kingpin. If he does, it'll be a bummer.
That'd be great if Punisher
But it would be
did that.
totally in character for him to do it. But yeah, Kingpin's more of a Daredevil villain than anything else.
Yeah.
Usually Punisher's just killing
like
random mobsters and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know where you even go from there. I mean, that could be the beginning of the Punisher series, though. Punisher just kills Kingpin, and Daredevil's like, well, I'm done. He was the one running all this stuff that's been going on. But,
Anyone out there?
What other... Did you have some other ones?
I got nothing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
Cool, man.
Well, I think we should play Battlefield 1.
Let's do it, dude. So, thanks for listening to the Cali Nerdcast, and we'll be back again, probably to talk more about DC. I got a friend of mine...
Trying to talk about DC.
Yeah. Well, this guy knows, like, everything DC. I have a friend of mine named Matt Reed, so hopefully we'll get him on for the next one.
Yep.
And
if he's not there, we might be talking about The Matrix, because that's what I'd love to do.
This one is probably going to be titled Marvel vs. DC.
Yeah?
I would say that would be the general subject.
Yeah, it seemed to flood into both areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a small segment on time.
Yeah.